Click. Maybe it'll do what it did yesterday.
And you're going to have to go into the things, just look at it, and go, oh, wait, you actually mean to start? Oh, right, okay. No, we're live.
We're live. It's terrifying. Yeah. It's horrifying. Hello, beautiful people. Getting ready?
Hello.
Get a little pre-show going on, as we always do. Just getting the last bits set up. How's everyone doing this lovely, lovely Wednesday?
Wotan's Day?
Just took some BC powder. And you know how that works out? Because it just gets right in your throat organ.
Uh-huh.
But it doesn't immediately. It takes a hot second. It's like, I'm just going to chill out somewhere in your upper palate until you breathe. And it's like...
And then you do a slight inhaling a little too fast. And you're used to it. It's like...
Oh, man. Apparently Theron is killing Pizza Dude. Violence on a Wednesday. What? Compiling Gentoo and a... Alright. I'll try not to judge you differently from now on. Try.
Okay. I wouldn't, but sure.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but...
Again, I wouldn't, but sure. Let's see. At most, I would do it in a QEMU KVM. VirtualBox is just too slow.
Just can't come up with a situation like, I had my Gentoo experience of like, yeah, yep, got it installed, it booted, we're done. All right, where's my Steam achievement? That's the last time we're gonna play with this.
Yeah, I got. Let's see. Gnome 3 didn't exist yet. That was the last time I played with Gentoo. So.
And okay, let's see. Did we?
There's hype around Gentoo, but
oh man. Dish girlfriend, what is it? Is Arch too mainstream for the hipsters? Is it come
apparently? Gentoo hype. Really?
I guess if you just want to be old school about it, be like, yeah, man, I run Gentoo.
You could cheat and use Sabayon instead.
Generation 2.
Gen 3.
I've honestly never looked up what Gentoo was all about, man. I mean,
yeah, don't know why it's called that either. So,
I do know why Red Hat, how that got its name, but outside, that was. They used to tell you stuff like that in the beta installers for Red Hat way back in the day. You'd learn all kind of weird facts.
Yeah, that's Ubuntu used to have the whole origin of the word and the like the breakdown of all the dialects that they used and okay.
Well, I guess that is a bit telling. Hey kids, back in our day, it took more than 4 minutes to install.
Yeah, back in our day, 5400 or 3200 RPM drives were kind of the thing. Yeah, my first laptop had one of those mobile IDE, parallel ATA, whatever you want to call it, 3200 RPM hard drives with a whole of 80 gigs.
You know, for the first time in my life, I'm going to... I was going to order them last night. I'm going to order them after the show today. Is the, what is it, 3 1/4 to notebook hard drive adapters?
The caddy?
The caddies.
Yeah.
for the Ryzen box. Because I was like, all right, let's just make it look nice. Because
Actually get stuff in the right place this time around instead of just
duct tape.
sticky tape to the
Duct tape, man. There's nothing wrong with duct tape. I'm sorry. Duct tape is a perfectly valid mounting solution for SSDs.
No moving parts. I get it, but duct tape.
It's like, where do you want to put it? Anywhere you need to. Click, done.
Yeah, I had to get a caddy 3.5-inch to 2.5-inch adapter that mounts 2 SSDs, one on top, one on the bottom, and you can just use it. I just this case came with like the 3.5-inch bays, have those slidey things. So I didn't even need screws, just put the plastic tab, slide it in, done. Yeah.
Yeah, I dug out the case for our new box. It's a monster case.
I was looking at it, I was like, so are you going to take the Dremel tool and actually grind out the bits you don't need, or just going to keep it all?
I mean, the first one, all right, if you follow me on social media, I was going to put it into a Sunfire 250 case. Not as big as Tipsy Danger's case. You see, the picture I took, a lot of people mistaken. Next to Tipsy Danger on the floor is a full-size tower.
That is a full-size tower. That is a trick of perspective.
It's next to it. I mean, this thing is, like, they used to make them this wide? It's like, yeah, they did. These were the boxes that you used to buy when you wanted to install your homebrew water cooling kits in them.
Yeah. Nowadays, they call them EATX cases.
Mm-hmm.
They're the extended ATX cases.
Mir says he has several. Yeah, the ones I found are like $1.25, man. So
Yeah.
yeah. It's Oh yeah, you can definitely. This case will take the elongated motherboards handily.
Yeah.
The what is it? The MSI Tony Hawk.
Tomahawk, yes.
So we have the
B350.
what the beef 350.
That's the sea monster.
Well, you know, it gives you the overclocking, and that's really all we need. I mean, it's down a couple of UBs.
Unless you're getting the one of the X Ryzens, you don't really need the X370. So,
and like the only downside I could find about the B350s was like, oh, you can't run SLI. It's like, don't worry, I run Linux.
Okay, so I've business as usual then, right?
Exactly, man. Doesn't prohibit you from putting another video card, which is
You can put as many video cards as you want.
Which I'll be doing with a new box, because Jordan did that experiment for me without me even bringing it up. He was like, yeah, it's pretty simple. You just pop it into. I was like, oh, that's simple enough for me to do. Okay.
Yeah, it's literally the NVIDIA settings nowadays. Just start them as root and save the XOR conf. Done. And yeah, I'm probably going to do something very similar, but I would need a whole lot of money for that to happen. So, not yet. But that's kind of the plans, to get binary like a 1050 Ti, and then get the 750 Ti in this box, have that drive these two monitors, and then have the 1080 plug it into the 121.9 big-ass monitor. So I can use the G-Syncs and everything else, because if you have more than one monitor plugged into an NVIDIA GPU, G-Sync tells you to eat a bag.
I don't know. I'm just going to take genuinely the oldest PCIe card I can find and put it
Yeah, that's the 750 Ti.
Well, that's what I'm thinking, and I don't have a 750, but all the stuff I have, I think low as I go that I have up here that I know that works, that's not in the box of questionable functionality. Or it was like the 4 series. I think I have the entire range of the NVIDIA 4 series cards. The 450, the 450 FTWs, and the WTFs.
Yeah, let's see. When I started doing Linux Gamecast, you had 2 560 Ti's.
Truggy, duct tape dangling from their plugs. Also have done this.
Okay, I've done that for like 5 minutes just to see if it was working.
Well, here's the thing, Pedro. I mean, I plugged it in and I was like, all right, wait, it just kind of hangs. All right, that's good enough for like right now to see if everything works. Then you come back like 30 minutes later and it's like, you know, that kind of just works, man. I can just put this cover back on.
Yeah, no, I can't bring myself to do that. Nope.
Hey, man, I don't have YOLO Swag transparent cases. I can't see the inside of it.
Actually, it's now on the floor and the window is facing that way. So I can't see it.
He's full of it. He's got a couch on the other side he likes to sit on just to look at it.
No, you know what I have on the other side? The suitcases that we brought our shit in when we flew over. The box for the steam machine and the styrofoam on top of the box instead of inside it because reasons. Yeah, it was just a bunch of bags and clothes and shoes.
Yeah, like I said, these things are genuinely $1.45 on Amazon with free shipping, so it's cheaper for me to buy these than it would be to. Yeah. I appreciate it, man. You know I do.
Yeah, those things are, even this one, even though it's metal, it was like €5 at the time. It's like, fair enough. It holds the YOLO rate just fine.
Dangling SSDs, man. Show title, we got to work that in.
Dangling your SSDs.
People, I guess we should mention that you can suggest show titles for this with a Bing suggest.
Yes. It's even less likely that we'll use it, but hey.
Hey, it could happen. I mean, it's happened before. If you want to do the Bing suggest and vote.linuxgamecast.com if you want to check, and we can vote on them at the end of the show. Everyone remind us, and we'll take a look when we get done recording this week's episode, and we'll see what submissions are there, how that worked out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, suggest show titles. Exactamundo. Almost have everything going. I didn't say that, Fate. You didn't hear that. The biggest issue I'm having right now is because when I pulled the Tipsy Danger case, which is a meter and some change, man. I mean, I want to say 1.5 meters, but that maybe 1.5 meters with the big ass legs it has on it.
Mm-hmm. 1.5 meters. That's 5 feet.
Well, it's. I don't know what feet really are. So, well, I know what feet are.
It's 30 centimeters, 0.33, I think.
Let's just say 1 meter and some change, man. I like that. And and I had a current box of business sitting on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, let's get it off the floor. I had this big, massive case, and our box of business is in a full tower, and it looks like a little mini tower sitting on top of it. And I was like, good, all right. But then on top of that, I had this monitor, which is under the camera now. The camera's back there in the corner. But I had it was above the camera, like leaning down.
Let there be light!
Exactly. It was a light panel, and it was show notes. And it's weird because it's down here now, like on the desk areas.
So you finally have the monitor where it was supposed to be.
Ugh. Ick. You normies are weird.
Nah. I've had these two 1080p 23-inch monitors for 3 years and a half.
Well, here's the thing that messes with you, Pedro. I got to take an updated picture of this because when it was up there, it's like, okay, that's a cool little display monitor. You didn't think little though. You don't realize because I mean it's a 21-inch monitor.
Oh yeah, the 21-inch 1366 768 one.
21-inch monitor. You don't realize how small that is, and I'm like looking at it right. It's like, yeah, this thing kind of fits in the corner of my 4K monitor. I mean, it looks like it looks a bit diseased compared to the other two.
Yeah, even
You walk in, you just want to like, oh, hey, little buddy.
the 22-inch that I used to use as the external monitor for the calculator, which is now Nori's monitor for the Steam box. It looks absolutely tiny. I don't know where they're getting the 22 inches because if these two are 23 inches, that looks like a 19. It's tiny.
I don't know if it still works, but I have a green CRT monitor on the monitor wall of shame in one of my spare bedrooms. And I'm not kidding, dude. The viewport's like that. It might be 7 inches. Doable. Might be 7 inches.
I've seen, those teeny tiny CRTs. They used to have them at like shops, like point of sale, cashier. Did have teeny tiny CRT monitor.
Kind of like those. Yeah, I think it's got a bigger case around it, but yeah, it's an old IBM. I guess it was like a mass-made school monitor, or it could have been a register monitor or something like that. I don't think I've ever plugged it in. I was like, oh, that's adorable. I got to take that home with me. I'm sure once I plug it in, with whatever's burnt into it, I'll be able to decrypt.
You probably won't see anything if it's old. The phosphorus is probably dead now.
It's just an excuse for me to electrocute myself.
That's the only CRT death I ever had was the phosphorus literally burned itself out. Everything started to get really bright, like someone jacked up the brightness.
Yeah.
And then it started to get fuzzy, and then everything became undistinguishable. So it's like, oh, what's this? Oh, that's the phosphorus. It burned itself. Oh, okay.
I had a Komodo. I think it was a Komodo K Hyundai or something like that monitor, like a 17-inch one. 17 inches were all the rage. Giggity.
Oh yeah, I had a Samtron 17-inch CRT monitor.
It finally just died on me, but it died on me right after I'd gotten another monitor, and I was pissed. Like, monumentally, because it's like dual CRTs. And, yeah, I was only living that dream for, like, maybe a day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, at work, I think they have an agreement with Dell. Because the laptops are Dell, the monitors are Dell, the keyboards are Dell, the desktop pre-builts are Dell. Everything is Dell.
Well, I mean, could be HP. I mean,
yeah, they could burn a hole through the desk when you have them on there. Yeah, no, actually, the laptops, they're old. I mean, this is the NHS we're talking about. They're old, so they're a bit slow. There's like one desktop PC with an SSD in it.
mm-hmm.
Everything else is still running 5400 RPM drives.
Those things will live forever.
Yep.
I was looking at some of those old Mac Store 20 gigs that I found inside that box. I was like, I guarantee you these things still work. And I'm pretty sure those were the hard drives that I robbed out of an old TiVo.
Device server system Dell product. PowerEdge 1900, yeah. I don't know what the servers are running. I'm not allowed to touch the server racks yet. So
Yet.
yeah. Yes, NHS job truggy. I finally not unemployed yet. Still haven't been paid, but I think that's Friday, supposedly, from what the people tell me.
You'll know if he's taking smoke breaks and swigging Jack Daniels on Saturday.
Yeah, you see, I haven't had a smoke since July 9th.
Oh, look at this optimism. Okay.
So it's been more than a month since I last had a smoke, and if I can keep that going, all the better.
All
I
I'm
think I've
hearing
expelled.
is everyone send Pedro cartons of cigarettes.
Okay, if you're just going to buy them for me, I'll smoke them.
No, you can't smoke them. you got to make like a little fort out of them.
Oh, okay, I can make a fort. Yeah, I mean there are sofas back there. I can probably make a
Yeah.
fort. Did the UK LGC crew fix you a care pack? No, they didn't, Truggy. No, they didn't. But yeah, no, it's one of the reasons I kind of wanted to come to the UK, even though my original job offer kind of fell apart, was because my cousin, she had already moved in here 10 years ago, 15 years ago, something like that. And she said, it's basically in the UK, the only people who don't work are people who don't want to work. So yeah, as long as you want to work, you'll find work. Maybe it's something that you're not really into, but you'll find something to do. I'm like, okay, all right.
And that was the day Pedro joined the clergy.
Well, not the clergy, technically. Lunatic asylum. The loony bin, that the building I work in used to be mental health hospital.
Well, at least it wasn't like an old workhouse.
It was decommissioned in 2013, and they basically revamped it and turned it into like an administrative building for the NHS for the East of England and East Midlands bits of the NHS.
Oh, the move thing. I'm such a creature of patterns. If everyone sees me over here at some point just going "Nyah," like that, which I've already had 3 or 4 of those moments because things are in different places.
Yeah, I kind of contradict myself in that whenever I start getting too comfortable, I change something. I don't know why, but it's just something I need to do.
Pedro, I don't actively sabotage myself.
It's not sabotage, it's just changing a little something.
No, son, that's straight up self-hatred's what that is.
Okay, I'm definitely not as big a creature of habit as you are.
Not a creature of habit, but when something works, you spend a few years beating something into a working state. Then I get the bug, and I'm like, yeah, let's change everything.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I'm contemplating changing Ubuntu Mate to Solus on this box. It's like, let's use Solus here and put Ubuntu Mate on the laptop. Just trade things around.
Maybe I'll install Solus on the new box of business. Anyone believe that?
No.
No.
Not for a second. And
right.
although I was going to say, if you are for some reason going to do that, you may want to use the Linux current kernel instead of the Linux LTS one, because the LTS is still 4.9. And Ryzen doesn't work on 4.9.
Oh,
Yeah, it starts. It doesn't work so well.
I'm so tired of seeing that in comments. They're like, oh, I'm talking about it won't work at all. I was like, no, it works. You're just not going to achieve optimum efficiency with it. All right? It will boot.
It will work, technically. It's just not very well.
Are there? I mean, Slackware is easy, and I grew up with Slackware. That doesn't scare me like it should. Maybe it does.
Could use a hibernate feature. What's a hibernate feature?
Hibernate.
Hibernate.
Hibernate. You know, like the doctor from The Simpsons, man.
I don't know. I don't use hibernate. I have a swap partition. It's not for the sake of hibernating. It's for the sake of Chrome is going to start munching all the RAM at some point, and I need a buffer.
This box I will put in suspend unless I'm doing... If I'm doing any audio work during the week, no, because it can't sort the DACs. Unless I kill Pulse Audio, then manually reset it. It's just quicker to just give it a reboot at that point. So I just shut it off. SSDs, man. Hey, what? And it's like, oh, 7 seconds. Oh, that's too much. I'm doing my Jordan impression. Because he's got that fancy new NVMe. And, dude, man.
I've seen how fast an NVMe SSD is. Even doing actual copying from itself to itself, so that's like reads and writes combined. 800 megabytes per second, just...
Well, I've almost gotten... I kind of had that, moment the other day when I had to download some... No, it was mezzanine file I was copying from one SSD to another SSD. It wasn't a big file. It was like 1.8 gigs, something like that. I just like drag, drop, and it just went boop, boop, done.
Yep.
Yeah, that kind of seems normal, but wow, we're living in the future, man.
Yeah, even my old Vertex 3 SSD, just copying something from that one to the YOLO RAID, it's like, what's your setup bus speed max like? Oh, 560 megs? Yeah, we're doing that. Okay.
Right. All right. Let's see. We've got our 28, 29. We've got 2 minutes. So we'll grab a little refill. And we'll get into the show proper, I think. Yes. It'll be great.
I don't know where Pedro is, but anything south of the M4 is a Southern Lannister bastard.
I'll be right back.
Yes. Hey, Popey. How you doing? I thought he lived in a hotel in Torquay. Popey is south of the M4. Of course you are, Popey. You're you're in a big city, quite literally. Let's see. I don't know where roads are in the UK, so let's go to Google Maps and find the M4. M4 motorway. Okay, give me the map. Give me a map. Oh, yeah. No, I'm considerably down considerably down the M4, yeah. Look at London, A1, M1, go out the top right, out the bottom right, A3, N3, bottom left, yeah. A4, M4, yeah. Essex or Linux New Room, maybe I've already mentioned a couple of times where the closest city is because I don't live in the city specifically.
What? Welcome back to Dual Carriageway Cast.
Driving on the wrong side of the road cast. Still not used to it. It's like I look at a car, it's like, why is there no one driving the car in this movie? Oh, right. Willen's on the other side. Right.
All right. I guess I'll open with a top. You take second. I'll get third.
Yes.
And wait. Yeah, and you close.
Mm-hmm.
Doop, doop, doop. Let's see.
And if the window behind me goes from blue to orange, that's because the the outside lamp came on.
All right, beautiful people. Let's go. Gnome turns 20.
Solus finally snaps.
Discord begins testing video chat.
And share your terminal for fun and profit.
All this and more coming up. Let's go. Did I mention my cue points for my camera? I need to move my tally marks. All right. If I get through this without a mental breakdown, it's going to be brilliant. My brain is just genuinely screaming, "This is bull."
Everything's in the wrong place.
Right. So if I'm looking slightly right to the camera, that's why. Yeah, okay. And welcome back to Linux Weekly Daily Wednesdays, where we're taking that midweek break, sitting back, relaxing, and talking about the things that we find interesting going on in Penguin Land. I'm Venn Stone, joined every week by this man over here. Look, pointing in the right direction this week. It's kind of brilliant. That's Pedro Mateus.
Hello.
All the way from Space Britannia.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
man, what's been going on?
I have a job.
Are you bringing some Linuxy love to the NHS?
Very slowly. I have suggested it, and my boss said that they have considered it, and they're already starting to adopt many open source systems, not the operating systems yet, but yeah, they are embracing open source, especially on the server side, to cut down the costs because it's the NHS, and a few other things. But right now, I'm mostly dealing with Windows ticketing issues in the internal help desk, and doing whatever else my boss asks me to do, basically. Yeah.
Not much going over here. I'm just making messes and playing with PC boxes and moving things around that is angering, confusing me. If you're new to this business, go back and watch our 30-minute pre-show for this. It's quite the explanation, but what do we have coming up this week, man?
Well, this week, I think GNOME turns 20. Yeah, it
snap.
does. So, 20 years. Let's see, August 15, 20 years, 1997. Yeah, it's been a while.
Maths.
And back at the time, yeah, this article comes from opensource.com. Don't worry, there'll be links in for everything we talk about in the show notes. But the author, Jim Hall, actually took screenshots of the most relevant desktops of the time, and it starts with TWM, and then Window Maker, and then GNOME 1, GNOME 2, and GNOME 3.
That foot brings back memories.
Yeah, the GNOME 1, big foot. And then you have GNOME 2, which chances are, if you're using Mate nowadays, that looks very familiar. And of course, GNOME 3 with its all heads-up display mess. But that's neither here nor there. We're here to celebrate 20 years of GNOME. They've been going on a long time. And, 20 years of largely ignoring user input and going out of their way to make questionable decisions
What are
and
you
enforcing them
talking about?
regardless
No.
is something to celebrate.
You're just hating on GNOME, man. Well, they would never do that. They would never simplify UI design beyond even their most hardcore user base. The only thing I genuinely remember about GNOME was at some point in the early days of Red Hat, they're like, this is kind of the default thing. And my big takeaway from that was I definitely do not have a foot fetish. After seeing that giant foot so many times, in all fairness, I did use GNOME back in those days in the 90s, mid to late 90s, when I just completely cheesed up and scrambled my KDE sessions, which is quite often. So you could say I definitely had some experience using it. Personally, I do believe GNOME 2 got a lot of stuff right. And I think a lot of people got to use it because, the Ubuntu's got a hold to it. And, behind the purple and poo coloring, it was GNOME 2. It was like, okay, that's a logical layout. I can kind of dig it. GNOME 3, I don't know, man. I've not touched GNOME 3. I don't have any personally reserved hatred for it like some people seem to, Pedro. I'd be willing to try it, but again, old set in my ways, man. It's like I was born using XFCE. Well, actually, I started with CDE, but yeah, definitely a thing.
And there goes my camera. So yeah, it's let's see. GNOME 2 is really, really popular, and I guess nowadays it still is popular thanks to Mate, because that's what Mate is. It's a fork of the old GNOME 2 with everything renamed, so it's compatible. And you're not even stuck with GTK 2 if you're using Mate anymore. Now you can use Mate and have all the GTK 3 goodies that come with it. So yeah, you have absolutely no reason to use GNOME 3. And Ubuntu now, of course, decided, yes, GNOME 3 is a good idea. Let's use that.
Hey, man, I mean, if people like it, if they want to use it, again, some people just want to... Here's my biggest thing. Reinventing the wheel. Everyone seems to want to take a stab. Not everyone. A few select people want to take a stab at doing UI. UI is hard. And... Yeah. We'll see. I just say congratulations to the GNOME project on 20 years, and I hope they get another 20. And they make cool stuff. Keep on doing it, right?
Yeah, except it's missing basic functionality. And from our next story comes something that's actually useful in GNOME 3, which is a third-party tool. Believe it or not. Yes, it's GNOME Connect, or basically a KDE Connect extension for GNOME Shell. So yeah, it's KDE Connect. If you use KDE Connect, you know of its functionality. If you've never used it, but you've been listening to this show long enough, you have a pretty good idea what it does. And actually the GNOME 3 extension has basically the exact same shortcomings as the indicator version does, which, it basically is not as functional as KDE Connect proper in a KDE environment would be. Because in a KDE environment, you can browse your phone directly from your desktop. You can reply to texts directly from your desktop. But the moment you start using the indicator, okay, you can send text, you can't reply, so you still have to type out the number of the person you want to text to. Browsing will only work if your phone is running Android pre 5.0. So ice cream sandwich and Kit Kat up to Kit Kat, and then it just doesn't work anymore unless you're using Dolphin with whatever desktop environment. But yeah, it's actually a pretty decent chunk of functionality in a single extension if you have Android phones, obviously. And you still need the KDE Connect app, of course, since it very much relies on the KDE Connect backend. It just doesn't need the KDE kitchen sink to...
That was definitely the question I was going to ask for everyone. Did you have to install all things KDE just to get this one little
You
app?
need a few of them, yes. Like, it's just the teeny tiny things, the KDE backend that KDE Connect hooks to, but you don't need the entire kitchen sink. Although, if you do want to browse your device directly from the desktop, you're gonna need Dolphin.
That's the thing,
Yeah.
man. I mean, it's neat. I do like the ability to find your mobile and all that fun stuff. But everything I was seeing was, for me personally, just personally, because I have a billion tablets in this house. I always say it's like Deep Space Nine here. Some people get that joke, nerds. All that functionality is built in to all my Google devices. It's like, find the other device. Where's this device at? It gets real spooky too. When there's like, it's in that room. Wow, I can tell by GPS. Got it.
Venn, you just told everyone that you have a really big house. Stop it.
Not in comparison to the McMansions that are around mine, man. So I don't want to hear it. It's a whole perspective, ladies and gentlemen. Something that kind of caught my eye, and something that is available for Linux, and that's Discord. We do have a Discord room available for patrons. I'm showing it off right now for a hot second. But the reason we're talking about it is they are testing video chat and screen sharing with 5. I think they've added another 5% as of today or last night. But you can kind of see what's going on. They got it there. What are they doing? Basically, they're going to be testing their WebRTC implementation. Well, just a few select users. You get your video chat. That looks kind of neat. And, well, you get your screen sharing. You're going to have the audio. Rolling it out really slowly for the two main reasons of, A, that they don't want to nope all their bandwidths and servers, which I fully understand and can identify with that. And, of course, it's going to have bugs. It's WebRTC implementation because, Discord's basically Chromium. And what are they looking at? Basically a month right now before they're really going to start considering rolling this out to everyone. Does this make you excited?
It's seems to be the logical progression. It was already a pretty good chat client. It actually didn't have a completely horrible VoIP system. So yeah, put in video by all means. Prove to Microsoft that you can do Skype better than they can.
Well, that. Come on, man. I mean, everyone can do Skype better than Microsoft can. The problem is Grandma's on Skype.
Yeah.
I don't have this. Ironically, a good laugh is I was looking in Discord, and our good friend Orn from Bangladesh, a longtime listener of the show, was like, "What's this new video icon?" I was like, "Really? He gets it? Orn gets it? Orn has worse bandwidth than Pedro."
So you didn't get it. I got it.
Again,
I got the video.
Again, man, if I went out right now and got a dial-up account with AOL, it would show up tomorrow, man. That's
I actually noticed it yesterday because I started Discord and the download arrow in the corner was green. It's like, what's that? Oh, there's an update. Okay.
Oh, and apparently Jill's got it too, so sweet.
So I restarted it, applied the update. It's like, oh, the new video functionality. Oh, neat.
So what do we have up next?
Up next, we share our terminals. Yes, over the webs to instantly to anyone from anywhere using Teammate.
Instant terminal sharing, man. Yes, that's right. You heard it here, folks. It's a fork of Tmux. It's kind of only useful if you want to share just your terminal, with like your team, your group, or anything like that. You don't want to do the entire screen sharing because you work at an alphabet agency and you shouldn't be using screen sharing or voice communication clients in the first place. What does it do? Basically this thing's going to connect to, they have their own teammate.io web zone. Lets you generate a shareable link that you can just send out and boom, there it is. And seems, yeah, Yogurt, Packer, I love Packer, for all the wrong reasons, Fedora, Ubuntu, BSD, OpenBSD,
I like how most distros is just the one line and Ubuntu is like 4.
I don't know, man. See, here's the thing. Here's the part I was at. I was reading through these install instructions, and this is not terrible. But once you get to that point, go to linuxgamecast.com, go to our how-to section. I did like a 3-minute video on how to set up a virtual webcam that you can crop in the X server. And do this in 2 seconds and use it with any client that you're already using instead.
This does more than just a screen, though. You can actually share your terminal session to have someone else use the terminal, similar to Google Docs, as it were. It just sets up an SSH connection, and people can either just open up their browser and have a look at what you're doing in the terminal, or they can connect to that session through SSH and work with you, basically.
Oh, okay. I understand that we have a penchant for playing frustrating party games, and I think you've just figured out a new one for Saturday night.
It's Tmux. It's based on Tmux. You can just spawn a different terminal to the side or to the bottom, just split the terminal, and you can be working at the top, the other person can be working at the bottom.
Come on, man. You're messing with me. I'm thinking like Twitch configures the Linux kernel. It's a thing. Come on. All right, fine. Let's get serious and talk about Solus.
Yes, Solus. So it's been a while since we've mentioned Solus, but then again, it's a rolling release distro, so there's not really much we can say. Yes, they upgraded their packages. Cool. And yeah, this is Solus 3. It's the roll-up of all the updates up until now. You get, besides Budgie and Mate, now you also have GNOME 3 fully supported, if you're one of those people.
It has animations. Woohoo. Finally.
Yes. There are animations, and to be fair to Ike and everyone else working in Budgie, that is almost a working desktop environment. It still tears all over the place the moment you start a game, even with the forceful compositing pipeline option in the NVIDIA drivers. It still happens, but it is getting to the point where it's actually usable. And then again, that's not really Budgie's fault. That's more Mutter. So it's GNOME's fault. Let's just blame GNOME for everything. And yeah, no, it's actually, yeah, they routed up all the packages that come pre-installed. They have been updated to their latest versions, or the versions that Ike and his team are comfortable with. Besides the LTS kernel, you can now use the current kernel, and the big kicker, support for snaps. You know how everyone, snap packages. You know how everyone's making Flatpaks their default nowadays?
No, man, quit spreading fake news, Pedro.
Yeah, so I read this is like, why are you supporting snaps when everyone's supporting Flatpaks? And then I remembered, wait a second, I tested Flatpaks in Solus back when they came out in January. Yeah.
Well, listen, man, I mean, I want Flatpaks to succeed. I also want snaps to succeed, because we've seen what happens when there's just one thing and there's no competition. That doesn't work out well ever in the history of anything, so...
And it's good. It's they're not picking one over the other. Mm-hmm. They had Flatpaks working because Flatpaks were already working back in January, and they integrated them. Boom, done. Now snaps have recently gotten to the point where some people are actively adopting it, and there is some software being packaged as a snap that it justifies bringing it to Solus, which is at its core a desktop-oriented distro. It's not for enterprise environments. It's not for servers. It's not for... It's just a desktop distro. And I like that.
Yeah, man, it's definitely a thing, but if we're on the snap train, we might as well go all the way down the track, right?
Choo-choo! There's another one.
Snapcraft.io, call for testing for GNOME Twitch. That's right, easily browse and search channels and games. You know it's Twitch. If you know what Twitch is, you probably already know what this is. But they would like some help testing out the snappy version of this business. Now, I thought it was an Electron app, but you corrected me.
Yeah, it's WebKit GTK. It's not Electron, but it's damn close. Yeah, it's Python, JSON, and WebKit GTK 2.
Okay. It's a thing, man. If you don't like watching Twitch on your mobile device, your tablet, or an app on your TV, like a sane person, and you want to watch Twitch on your listen, I get it, especially if you're stuck at work. Having something like this be a bit more native than just having Chromium or Chrome open or Opera or Firefox. See, I'm getting them all in there, guys. I could get it, and might as well test it, because you're going to be, I mean, if you're running Ubuntu, you're going to be running snaps in the future, son. I hate to break that to you, so unless you're going somewhere else. And that's the thing, man. I just kind of wanted to spread the word on that and get some more people out there testing it, because, again, I want them both to succeed.
Go figure. But hey, speaking of streaming, how about we talk about some open broadcasting software?
That's right, man. OBS Studio 20 has been released, and it's horrible, and it's blowing up everywhere. Maybe if I say that, it won't crash, because we're using it right now. No, really, I didn't have any issues with this business, man. As I furiously get over here to take a look, it's got a bunch of new things that, well, bunch of things that I personally like in it. I mean, being able to unlock the UI, that's great. I mean, you can just take windows out of the dock and put them where you want. Think like, using GIMP the correct way. That is just like that. There's a new dark theme in here, and it is horrendously fugly, but maybe that's your jam. I like dark themes, didn't like this, don't know why. Maybe
to be fair, in its defense, since Strider isn't here, I'll be that guy. But I did like the new theme, not because of the colors. The colors are absolutely atrocious, but the font. It's actually appropriately sized font, along with the rest of your system. Because the old themes, either the regular one or the old dark one that they just had a fixed sized font that was way too big for me. Now, I may wear spectacles, I do. Here they are. But I don't want big ass fonts all over my desktop. I like to have space, real estate, since, I only have the two 1080p ones.
Let's see, what else? A couple things. We got the modular down, we got the new theme. Filters, that's kind of neat with the source. After you monkey around with, which I do all the time, playing with chroma key and lighting, as I've been doing this morning, and you get everything set just so, and you actually get to the point we're like, yeah, all right, we're just extra fail on top of fail at this point. We just need to zero everything out. You can do that.
Artheron brings up a good question in chat realm. Does it work with the NVEnc script?
Yes, thank you, Artheron. You can use the Linux Gamecast Lucha script, available when I post this, because I forgot to put it in our show notes right now, but I'll put it in there. That's how I built it, and that's kind of the purpose of the script. The script came to be because I'm lazy, but I'm also efficient. No, that doesn't work. I have a strong work ethic, is basically what it is. And I wanted to get it done quick, so Strider made it all pretty. And it'll work on basically any Ubuntu, 14, 16, probably 7. Yeah, it works on 17.
Probably 17. Yeah. I think Strider built it on 1704.
It will install your Venn code stuff, get all that set up, and boom, you just start it up, and it'll run. New thing with the audio meter, if you're clipping like you shouldn't be, it will tell you, and I think that's an excellent feature for anyone new, because they're like, why don't people listen to my stream? And you listen to the stream, and it just sounds like screeching and blowing out and stuff like that. One thing, Pedro, I'd like to see them focus on, though, is sorting the window capture, the X composite window capture in OBS.
You mean the crash button?
The crash button, the junk button, because that stuff is, it's just junk, man. I got a lot of words. We try to keep the adult language to a minimum on this show. But, man, I could run off a list to describe that. Because it's like, you get around it if you do desktop capture, then crop it. Yeah, not when you're dealing with 3840 by 2160. That doesn't work. And across separate X screens. X composite,
It does it. It can do it. Oh. Just, it gets a bit crashy.
Okay, rephrase that reliably.
Not reliably.
Yeah, the reliable way to set up X composite screens each time is to make sure you delete them before you close. Then make new scenes once you launch OBS again. OBS 20 didn't change that. That's something I would like to see fixed. Outside of that, it's doing a decent enough job. This next thing, Pedro brought up, and he's going to have to spend a full minute explaining why she... what is it, man? PhysFS?
This is Physics FS. I don't know why this is here. I didn't put it here. But this comes from iculus.org and their internal mailing list. Ryan, since he's working, everything's been going smoothly. Damn you, Bagbo. Damn you. Has been going really well with his Patreon campaign and is actually about to hit a new goal if everything goes to plan. So he decided to bring Physics FS up to version 3.0. Now, I don't know who it was that put this in the notes. It wasn't me. But it's...
hey, dude,
he says that it...
I do know something.
Eh?
You want to... Because I thought it was you who put it in the notes. Guess what? Right access to our show notes? About to go down to 2 people. Just saying. Because... yeah, I thought you had an explanation. I don't keep track of exactly what this business is. How about you send us some information on it?
Yeah, it's there for if you like Physics FS, whatever it is. If you follow Iculus that closely and you think that, this is relevant, let us know. Send us some feedback. Let us know exactly what it is that you think that, yeah. But
do please support Ryan C. Gordon on Patreon.
Yeah, actually do, because his Patreon is about to hit the $750 a month goal.
All you need to know is I made Unreal Tournament run in a web browser. Okay, done.
Yeah.
All right, there's your reason right there. That's what you need. But no, most of the aughts and definitely the late part of the 90s was the Linux gaming industry. So support those who support Linux.
Yeah, but specifically the $750 of his goals is relevant because he has a bunch of games that he says will never make a profit in Perforce, and $750 is the cost of one Perforce seat. So that means he can work on those games and maybe release them.
That will be fun. That will be interesting. And we've had Icky on the show before, so if you want, go back and give that a listen. I've known him for a few years, and awesome. Good people. So we're done plugging Iculus.
Let's plug ourselves.
Let's plug ourselves.
We're not very good at that.
We're not good at that. We can sell your stuff, ladies and gentlemen, just not our own. Hey, if you like this nonsense, the shenanigans that we do every Wednesday, head over to linuxgamecast.com, hammer that support button, check out some ways that maybe you can kick us a few shekels. We're not doing an advertisement on this, and YouTube's on fire right now. So if you think we're getting anything off YouTube, you can just keep on laughing. We have a Patreon campaign. That's brilliant. We'll talk about that in a hot second. Amazon affiliate links. I can't thank everyone enough for shopping through those. Doesn't cost you a dime. You don't have to do anything but click on the button from your country, and we get a little cut of that action. We have the Amazon wish list. I finally got around to setting that up like last year after 5 years of doing a show, and some PayPal things, and magical Bitcoins. That's the thing. And hey, man, Bitcoins, they've completely tanked. So don't go read news. Just take my word for it and just send them all to us. And
it was all over the news like 3 months ago. They tanked. No, just give us. We'll put them to use.
No, but we definitely appreciate everyone who's been helping this out. I mean, this show itself was and still is a Patreon goal. And yeah, man, I'm just absolutely floored. Let's thank some people that hooked us up this week, man.
Oh, yeah. So we have Stephen, who kicked us a few shackles over the Patreons. Thank you very much. He joins 109 other Patreons to give us a very nice total of $216 a week. Thank you all very much. Don't worry if August is coming to an end soon enough, and if we close ahead of the 200, we're going to put Jordan through Serious Sam 3. That is a promise. And we also have people that will be going to the Fine Upstanding Cannibals walls, or wall in this case, which
is brilliant, man. Clonky, Eric, he On like the, where's this thing at? Derp, derp, derp. So if I move that to there, the wish list that we have, this is basically stuff we're planning on buying, and we just made it public. That's all it is, you know. And I had something on there, getting ready to pick it up, and what happened was I wake up one
Someone
morning,
beat you to it.
and yeah, Clocky was like, "Yo, man, here you go."
B350.
B350.
MSI Tomahawk.
The Tony Hawk B350 for our Ryzen new build. It's going to be kind of brilliant. And he also kicked in a USB hub of pain that's causing me physical pain right now. I love it because I'm using it for lighting. And we do have to thank Linux Nuru, longtime fan, all the way from Tanzania.
Oh, yes.
Cooling in our new box of business, Tipsy Danger, will be provided. Cooling
By
from
Tanzania.
Right. That is awesome. Thanks, everyone. We could not do this without your support. It is pretty wicked cool. So can we get to a slice of pie?
Ooh, that's some fancy pie. Fancy pie. Well, this one, I shared this one on Google Plus a couple of weeks ago, and I completely forgot to add it to the notes of every single show we've done since then. But this is a miniature MZ80K. Yeah, the old one with the tape reader off to the side with the built-in screen. Yeah, they made a teeny tiny one that's powered by a Raspberry Pi Zero. I want it so much.
Listen, I'm looking at this and it's like, all right, this is neat. This is a bit more involved than a lot of these projects, some of which we've covered. That's like, oh, I shoved a pie in a thing and closed it. Look, which is always a good start. We're not knocking anyone, but it is a lot more involved than that, and it's completely well done. But I got to be perfect.
And it has a battery.
Got to be honest with you, P baby. If you really want to impress me, you got to make that tape deck work with like the old mini cassettes from the home answering machines and make it load.
No. Someone on Google Plus suggested that very same thing on the comments when I posted it. That'd be freaking awesome. That'd actually be freaking awesome. Just also would make a bunch of hipsters just spend a ton of money on old mini cassettes. But yeah, that would actually be awesome. Now, the person who built it said that because the plastic, yes, it was mostly 3D printed, but then it was all hand sculpted. So he said that it's way too much work to mass produce it, so he's probably not going to make any more of those cases just to give to people.
That's exactly what I was going to bring up, man. He made it very clear at the end. He's like, don't contact me asking.
I'm not going to make you one of these cases, period.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, which is code is, unless you pay me enough.
That's, you're willing to pay that much. All right, fine.
Okay, Google, give me a splitter. Raspberry Pi Google Assistant with sleek wood box. You know?
Oh, look, it's Plank.
It kind of is Plank, isn't it? Some people
it looks like Plank from Ed
taking a Pi 3 Model B microphone, speaker, LEDs, and all this business, and making your own Google AI assistant. This is different from everything else because this guy breaks out Tanzanian wood. I'm not kidding. It's in the article, which will be in the show notes. And mills this out, makes it fancy. Again, I love this. I love seeing makers make, and I love seeing the combination of, woodworking tied in with a Raspberry Pi. It's like, what crazy moon world do we live in these days, Pedro? But it did honestly kind of lose me at the carpentry bits, because it also falls under the neat but only practical if you have access to that equipment.
If you say you have a big garage or you live near a big garage and you know the owner, sure.
Pedro thinks that the mechanics do woodworking.
No. Garage as in someone who has an actual garage with a lot of tools just going around, both for cars and for wood. But yeah, no, it actually looks really nice. And
they make buggies. Is that it?
They also make buggies, yeah. With wooden panels. I've seen one of those.
All right. I was just trying to give you an out on that one.
But yeah, no. One thing they did was just a teeny tiny detail that I really liked was they hooked one of the GPIO pins, and they also give you the script to trigger it, which is whenever you say, "Okay, Google," it automatically lights up a teeny tiny LED at the front to let you know that it's listening. That was genius. Well played. Really well played.
Again,
Teeny tiny details. I like that.
little details like that can definitely make project. Link's going to be in the show notes.
Yeah.
It's really neat. I personally think you could adapt something like this, go back and 3D print everything. Then we just have to find a source for the Fox wood that was on like the 70s Ataris and other electronics. And we build it out of that, and we just print money is what we do after that.
I still have I brought it with me, a mini ITX Intel motherboard that I want to build it inside some weird case and use it as like a discrete server somewhere.
Just like the AI assistant. You remember the 2600 switches? Those big fat clunky
Oh, yeah.
Okay, it doesn't even operate with voice. You have to hold the switch up in order to send it command, then clunk it back down for it to process. Oh, man. Yeah, all right. That's brilliant. Yeah. Hey, that's going to close out our show, but we got a little bit of feedback. If you want to get in touch with us, tell the beautiful people how they can do it.
Yeah, it's easy enough. You go to linuxgamecast.com, you hit the contact button on the navbar. It's the one button that says contact. Just scroll down to the forum, since the warning bits are meant for that other show, What We Do. Make sure to pick LWDW from the box and fill out the form. Now, here we take feedback, not just from that contact form, but also if you decide to, say, leave us a comment on YouTube, or leave us a comment on Patreon, or one of the social medias. If it's something pertinent, an interesting question, actual feedback, disparaging remarks about certain members of our family, we'll probably include that too. Because this week we only had the one.
Just got the one, but I think it's kind of a good one.
Yeah, it is.
Didn't use the form right. No offense.
So it's upgrades. He's asking about Cirilla.
Let's hope not. What do we have here? Hello, you nutters. Building a budget Linux PC for Christmas and would appreciate a little direction. Ryzen 3 or 5. All right, AMD fan. I can dig that. Motherboard chipset. Worth getting an aftermarket cooler. And last but not least, cheap video card. The occasional game would be nice.
1050. Did you get all that?
Were you talking?
Yeah. So, answer the first question. The Ryzen 5, the 1600, you get 6 cores, 12 threads, base 32 or 3.2 gigahertz, and a turbo of 3.6 or 3.7, something like that. Motherboard chipset, B350. That's like the default. Sure, you're going to be spending at least $100 on your motherboard, but you kind of want the extra reliability from the... What are the lower end ones? What's the chipset?
The 300s.
300 something, yeah.
I think the 300. You can get away with one of those. The 350 is your overclocking and
better quality parts in general, reliability, even if you're not overclocking.
I would say definitely go with the 5. If you're going to go AMD, no, I'm just kidding. Buy a Mac Pro.
Okay, so aftermarket cooler, no. You don't actually need one of those because they come with the Wraith now.
Unless you want to if you're going to get the 350. See, what I'd like to know is what your budget is.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been a helpful piece of information. Because, I mean, you can get a Ryzen 5 series. I would say get a 350. If you're getting a 350, you might want to overclock it. Sorry, kids on the internet. That thing does not allow for much headroom on overclocking.
No.
So, you get a Hyper 212. Those things are reasonably cheap now. They have adapter plates.
Here's the thing.
Okay. All right.
The Wraith coolers also have 4 heat pipes, 4 copper heat pipes, and from the comparisons I've seen, it's slightly louder than the Hyper 212, but the temperatures, the delta between idle and load, very similar.
Are you talking about a Hyper 212 in a push-pull configuration?
Just a single fan.
That's
as it
not
comes
what
out
I'm
of the
talking
box.
about. Fans are cheap.
Yeah, I do have a push-pull in my Hyper 212 as well, so...
The video card, but that Wraith cooler...
1050!
1050, I would say yeah, or a 750 if you can find one wicked cheap.
Yeah, 750 is... The 750 Ti. If you're going to go for the old one, find a 750 Ti. You can probably get one for like $80 nowadays, refurb. But yeah, if you have 120, 130 bucks to spend on a GPU, get the 1050 Ti. That's just no questions asked. That's like a 970 that's solely powered by PCIe.
That is kind of one of the
insane.
downsides is, you know, we don't have any integrated graphics on any of the Ryzen parts. So
No, yeah.
yeah, your APU game is, well, you wouldn't be doing much. Well, all right. Jordan's, he's built his Steam machine with an APU,
Yeah.
so you can get away with a lot of stuff. But yeah, discrete graphics kind of always throws the monkey wrench in there. You got to get something. So, yeah, 1050, 750, go. Just kind of game, you can get away with a lot of stuff with.
Just whatever you do, don't just let, you know, your SSDs dangle off the side of the case. No one likes dangling SSDs.
Dangle all the SSDs. That's just the way you do it. But ladies and gentlemen, it's been fun. It's been real. We've always had a good time. Thanks for everyone for showing up. And we'll be back next week. If you want to get in touch with me, you can always do that at Venstone on Twitter. And you can just search Google. You can find me. Come hang out in our Discord chat. If you are a patron and you don't know about it, pop in there. That's where we like to hang out the other 6 days of the week. And Pedro, where can lovely people find you?
Well, you can find me too by Googling. I learned that the other day because one of my coworkers, spell out your name. And he was typing it on Google. It's like, oh, your Twitter account is the second result. Shut up. Oh, crap. Yeah, it is.
You basically,
So,
they were creeping on you, man. That's all it was.
Basically, yeah, they were openly creeping on me because they asked me to spell my name. So, yeah, that's at unaccounted for on Twitter or plus Pedro Mateus on Google+.
All right. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. We got that set, and I didn't have time for 2 weeks in a row to get credits done.
No, shut up. People at home, the ones watching the produced version.
It's all lies. Don't believe him. He's the wizard of something. Trust me, I really like to get them done because it saves me a lot of editing. But
Yeah.
My apologies for everyone
see.
watching live. Just imagine credits. They're really.
Maybe I misread that at first. I'm all about the dangling discs. Let's just say I did not read discs.
No, geez, I was going to go worse than where you were going, and I caught myself. Neo dodged a bullet on that one.
And Linux Naru will never Google me. Don't lie to yourself, Linux Naru. You have. You're probably doing it right now.
Okay, let's stop
Hope
these
he feels
recordings.
terrible. Oh no. What did I do? Oh, he wasn't following us on G+. All right, fair enough.
Oh man, now I got 4,500 and
I have 725.
I have a small little army on G+.
Oh yeah, I haven't tried binging myself. Let's go to bing.com.
I was hoping that was going to follow that sentence.
Let's see.
Let's see. Let's save out
Okay,
the wave.
No. I'm on the first page. The third and fourth results from the bottom are my Twitter and Google Plus accounts, respectively.
Being me, I refuse to go to a Microsoft site.
Let's see. I have no script enabled, so I don't think they can even tell I'm there. Venn Stone. Yeah, Google Plus, then Twitter. And then Stone Age Life versus Modern Life, as written by... No, not written by. Shown in a Venn diagram.
Me diagram.
There's also a VennStoneAbout.me website.
Yes, there is.
Stone Soup Venn diagram.
That's a thing.
Find stonemasons in Venn Dartmouth.
I only had a little bit to do with that. All right.
VennStoneandVoices.com. Yes. Thomas Francis Venstone profile. Thomas Francis Venstone.
Vote.linuxgamecast.com. We have a few show titles. Let's see. Venn has a mental breakdown. Dangling SSDs. Might have to get that one another vote.
I was going at the end. It's like, crap, what did we have to work in? Right, the SSDs. Oh, perfect. Okay. All right. Yeah, for some reason, Amazon does not want to send me my LED dangly bits.
I might just order you some and mail them to you.
I can add them to my wish list and give you my wish list and just...
Well, no, I mean like buy them and mail them to you from here.
Oh, physically, yeah, okay.
Because they weigh all of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And they would fit. Yeah. They would fit in an envelope, and I'm sure out of 10, 6 of them would survive. They're £2 too for 10 of them.
Yeah, no, they are pretty cheap, and for some reason, my Amazon just like they sent me an email yesterday saying, "We're sorry, we haven't been able to fulfill your order." Yeah. Oh, one thing I will probably also buy once I can afford it is those LED strips that you tape to the back of monitors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
I call it Blindy McBlindy face. That's what happens when, all right, we need a third lighting panel. Jill and Steve were like wicked awesome and got us like real big boy lighting panels.
Mm-hmm. The ones that are on either side of you right now?
Yes, ma'am. And like super wicked stands and all that. And we're super grateful. This is, all right, I need a third directional light. How could I do this for under $6? This is how you do it for under $6, people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And surprisingly, unpowered USB hub will power all 7 of them.
They're LEDs.
Yeah, but hubs can be wired weird. They can all be chained to...
Yeah, there are some shady hubs that you probably don't want to futz with.
Mm-hmm.
But most of them, or even if you have one of the powered hubs and you just don't have it plugged into the mains, just use it as a regular hub, it works.
That's the... I'm going to have to get a nice big fat legit Clonkia. Picked us up that Mobo, which is great. And this is one of the sacrifices you do make with the 350. This is MSI. Currently using an MSI, but the one in this box of business right now, when we put these box systems together, they're like 5-year builds. And this one has 8 USB ports on the motherboard.
Are you counting the eSATA ports, or you don't have the eSATA one?
No, it's got 8, plus it's got 2 3.0s.
Okay, yeah.
I think it's got 2 more over next to where the it's got the one PS2 thing.
Yeah. No, those are if it's up there next to the PS2 ports, those are always USB 2.0 because the
Dude.
PS2 is on the same power
The new
phase.
motherboard? 4.
Yeah. Yeah, this actually this motherboard was stupidly expensive. I'm never going to buy another 200 euro motherboard, that's for sure. It has 4 USB 3.0 at the back. It can support 2 more in the front panel because it has a mid-board 3.0 front panel USB connector. It has 6 USB 2.0 and 2 eSATA ports, which also double as USB 2.0s if you plug something in there.
Those are basically what I have.
Those look like they will melt.
Well, they're 12 pounds. Mine have plastic covers on them. Same 3 LEDs, different configuration.
Yeah. Yours are vertical, those are...
Right, and the
sideways.
big thing I like about the covers is, yeah, the front of LEDs are cool, but there's a reason LEDs have massive heat sinks on them. They get hot. And, no, I mean, as long as they work, they're great for, like, using...
Oh, yeah, hurting your eyes, that's kind of the point. You just... That's what I'm going to do when I get mine, is, like, put them up on the wall there, just...
I
spread
can't look
them out
above
evenly. It's
here.
Like,
This is the nope barrier. If I look here, or here, I won't be. I know it'll be like people don't understand. I have a photophobia, which sounds like it's something else, but it's not. It's just my pupils don't dilate correctly. So you know, like when you're outside and you walk inside and you can't see jack or f hole. Multiply that into minutes.
yeah.
So we're very careful. But yeah, man, LED lighting, that's it's the future, Brad.
Yep. I have the one LED pointed at me right now, and it's just the one, but looking at it directly is enough to make me want to look away.
There's a LED. Well, I was blown away, man. I went to the store and bought a LED, well, 2 LED light bulbs, and they were less than 2 American Wet Stinkies a piece. They were 30 LEDs, had 30 LEDs in each one. I was like, huh.
Let's see. In the old apartment that Nori and I used to live in, it had halogen lamps at the top, and we replaced the halogens with IKEA LED bulbs.
Did they smell like
No. They work just fine, and those teeny tiny faux halogen LED bulbs have like 10 LEDs on them.
the full halogen LED bulbs?
Faux, FAUX.
Oh, okay. It came out over the ocean as full. I was like, full halogen LED bulbs. All right. How are you going to get out of this one?
No, they had like 10 LEDs on them each, so wherever they were pointing at was lit up.
That's why I got, these are the 30 ones, so they're the only 2 bulbs in my entire house that are reasonable incandescent, anything. There's one in the upstairs loo, and there's one over the hob.
Yeah.
That's it, man. If you're going to come hang out in Old Man Venn's house, you better develop some night vision or bring your goggles.
These 2 are also LED bulbs, the ones in the living room and kitchen area. They're stupidly bright. I hate when Nori turns them on. It's like...
I don't mind. I mean, I bought a bunch of halogen lights way back in the day, maybe over a decade ago, because those things are like $17 or $18 a piece when I bought them. Still have 2 of them. Still work. But now you can buy them in multi-packs or whatever. Oh, man. Linux Lightcast bringing you the bright ideas in Linux. Time for a new whiskey? Are you sure it's not ethanol with whiskey flavoring Linux Nero? Because that gin was shady as hell. It's like alcohol with gin flavoring.
And a little bit of food coloring to make it slightly browner.
For some reason, I would expect gin to be. I don't drink gin. I was never a gin person. I can drink it. All right, listen. Let's not go to extremes, people. In a pinch. I always expected gin to be like green. You know?
Green. Let's see. Green drinks. Pisang Gambon.
Because, I mean, it tastes like you're sucking off pine straw, man.
Absinthe. That washed down absinthe extract that they sell here and in most of Europe.
Mm-hmm. Dying Light needs to go on sale, and we'll play some multiplayer. Because I am not paying
I can actually play with you again, Arthur, and yeah.
Dude, $60, man. It was like, it's 20% off. I was like, I'm not paying $30. I refunded the game. I paid full price for it before. I've done it once.
Yeah, it dropped down to, I can't remember if it was 20 or 15 euros. And I thought, okay, maybe I'll buy it now. 5 minutes later, I had already forgotten. I was doing something else. I see a Steam window pop up. Arthur's like, here's the game and the season pass and everything's like, oh, thanks.
See, it's people's polite way of saying, guess what you're playing next.
It's like, I want someone to play this game with me. Come play with me. Okay.
What was the game that we got keys for last night? The stick figure Western RPG?
Oh, yeah. West of Loading.
Did it have an inaccurate size when you were downloading it? You know, the notification that tells you how big the game's going to be?
It said it was 200 and something megs.
Mine said it was 3 gigs.
Okay. Maybe it's 3 gigs once it's expanded?
No, just the initial pop-up, and it was like 3.9. I was like, what is this about? I was like, maybe 300 megs, maybe, for this. And I was like, what? Okay, this thing's got something hidden in it. I was kind of excited. Then I clicked the next button, and it went to the downloading screen, and it was like 197 megs, and I blinked, and it was done downloading. I was like, all right, that's...
Yeah, actually it's made by the people who made Kingdom of Loathing. If you don't know what it was a web-based, browser-based RPG that you could play that was... Basically, it was taking pot shots at all of the RPG conventions. And West of Loathing very much follows that trend. It's absolutely genius. Those people, they are... absolutely insane, and I love them. It's a really nice game. We will be throwing chairs at it at some point soon. I don't think it's this week, but soon. And it's an absolutely genius game, and it wouldn't entirely surprise me that it may be 3 gigs uncompressed. Because it is, it's huge. There's tons of stuff. Almost everything you see that isn't, background is interactable. You can do something with it. And there are tons of skills that let you interact with stuff differently. And one thing I saw, I can't remember who it was that was playing it on YouTube. It's, if you make certain decisions in game, you will get a skill, and then that skill will give you either different conversation options, or will let you do things with certain tools that you couldn't do before. It's for a game that is actively trying to take pot shots at the established conventions of RPGs, and in this case, Westerns. They are just... It's like Poe's Law. They did a really, really good job. And of course, it still has the Kingdom of Loathing art style. It's absolutely amazing. Telltale needs to take some examples. Yeah, if Telltale actually pulled a Poe's Law and became the parody of themselves that everyone's been asking them to be by now, their games would probably amount to more than just tired old visual novels. Oh, and Linux support too, obviously. Of course.
Okay. Maybe everyone can help me out with this. Tell me if this has ever happened to you. Okay?
Okay.
Now, I keep kitchen tablet. You know, I have kitchen tablet, living room tablet. I got a couple of Nexus 7s and other various locations. But the kitchen tablet, I'll look at it, pull down menu, check notifications, it's like, meh. Start walking away. New notification. Happens enough times to where I understand I'm a walking bag of water. You know, my body is like maybe minus 2 dB. Did I get in front of the Wi-Fi's, just blocking them, and it couldn't get to it? I don't know, man.
If you have Wi-Fi's set to disable when the tablet's asleep, then yeah, it will take a while. Once you unlock it, it'll take a while to go through the system, get the notifications for everything you have installed.
How dare you question my homebrew mesh networking system that doesn't work reliably? How dare you, sir?
See, I don't have a home mesh network. I just have really crappy internet. The wireless is fine, actually. And I have the Shield tablet set to, if it's asleep, the Wi-Fi's are dead. And I'll turn it on, and it takes it 3 seconds to connect to the Wi-Fi, and then another 5 seconds to give me all the notifications.
Maybe half a second.
Again, crappy internet. I'm aware.
It's just annoyed me. Annoyance. All right. Infinite first world problem. Oh, my tablet in my kitchen likes to send notifications when I'm walking away from it. However will I make it through this day?
But yeah, that's Murphy's Law, right?
Yeah.
When the phone rings, you either have a pen but not paper, or you have paper but not a pen. And everybody immersed in water makes a phone ring.
I just like, NASA spent billions of dollars researching to make a pen that can write upside down. In Russia, we just use pencil.
Was that from,
It's from the history books is what that's from.
No, I think they put that in a movie, with the guy that plays the death god in American Gods.
The guy who plays that god in American Gods. You pick the show that's literally full of gods.
I will say again, the death god.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Sledgehammer guy.
Yeah. That guy also did a space movie that he was the last person on a Russian space station.
You're talking about like Armageddon, where he's like,
Probably.
Taiwan, Korea, all made in the same place.
Yeah.
No, American, Russian, all made in Taiwan. This, yeah, absolutely backwards. Man, that was back when Taiwan made stuff. Shots fired.
Yeah, I think it was in Armageddon that he's the one who pulls the pencil line.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Come on, Brad.
Okay, that's space, is it?
That's space, man. Office space.
Office space, yeah. Let's see. Death God, American Gods. What's the name of the god? Death God. Sharanaborg.
Oh, I thought it was Jerome.
Yeah. Sharanabog, quick bit of trivia. He's also the death god that appears in Disney movie.
Oh, so he was Ariel?
No, I don't think it was a Little Mermaid. Let's see. Disney, within a Disney movie specifically. Yeah. Bloodthirsty Slavic deity. Chernobyl.
Man, whatever system you have, you need to work on your QoS.
My QoS isn't terrible. It's just I have very limited bandwidth.
Now your audio's gone bad.
Okay, that's messing with my upstream, and it shouldn't be.
Again.
Oh, that's probably Steam. Yeah, because I started Steam like an idiot. Okay, Steam is dead, and it's already climbing back up. I can see it now. Yeah.
You would think after 5 years you'd quit arguing with me, but nope.
No, I started Steam earlier to look at something. Yeah, no, yeah.
Well, you're gonna have
But yeah,
to...
no, QoS on this crappy router that Sky gave me.
Call me back on Skype, because Skype's not going to pull your audio back up.
Okay.
Should I pick up?
Alright. Okay, so as I was saying, QoS on this crappy router that Sky gave me is nowhere near as bad as the QoS I was getting on that stupid fiber router at Nori's dad's house. That was horrible, horrible QoS, because if I was uploading the video for the review, I couldn't do anything else. I might as well walk away for 15 minutes because I'm not doing anything else on the internet.
Gotta go check something.
Yeah. And this one, I can be uploading something at the full 1 megabit per second that it gives me, and I can still watch a YouTube video. Check Google Plus. It works. It's just, I have very limited bandwidth. So if, say, I start up Steam and it starts uploading things, and yeah, it's gonna go to shit.
Okay, yeah, alright.
Yeah.
Is that dude still hanging out? Let's see. No, I've deleted that one. Boo. Yeah. Ugh. I think I'm going to put together a guide for sorting OBS and making it do things. But it's kind of hard to do a guide because I can't make it work reliably. So here's a guy. Here's the general idea. You just have to continuously find different launch procedures.
No, you just, you do a guide, you do the jump cuts as you need, and then at the end, you include a link to a non-public video that's just like the blooper reel of all the crashes of all...
Dude, I mean, if you got one lying around, but don't go out buying one for me, man. Don't.
Wait, is that a booger reel?
A booger reel? What? What are you on about?
Never mind. Arthur's offering to buy you a Dying Light key.
You are incapable of listening to other people talk when you're on about something, aren't you? I just addressed him.
Oh, you did? Okay. And yes, I am really bad at QoS, but that's just me.
Man, we need to reset your IP chain policy.
Q ordering, never heard of it.
realize that my router has like night power saving mode in it?
Most of them do.
These are not things Venn looks for.
That's actually like been said. At least every single router I've had ever since I moved in with Nori.
Mm-hmm.
Every single one has that functionality.
That's the you can cut the LEDs off.
Yep.
Or you can say, all right, go to sleep between these hours and these hours, and cut off the 2.4, cut off the 5.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I was like, that's brilliant. Every time I'm over at somebody's house now, I'm like, oh, let me do a diagnostic on your stuff while I set up WAN access, and so when I get home, I can set this thing to randomly go off in the middle of the day on like Saturdays when I know you're home. Not that I would do that. I'm just saying I like to have the option. That's
Let's see. This one actually actively lets you select between 2.4 and 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi's.
Mm-hmm.
And you can shut one of them down if you only have devices that are capable of 2.4. You can kill the 2.5 or the 5.0.
Yeah, I have both because I use 5G for my backhaul.
Yeah.
And I use 2.4 to spit everything back out, which is interesting sometimes because sometimes you have to come into the router's room to get an IP address. Once you get the IP address, you're good. Go roaming, son. Go play around. But
So is it just DCHP not wanting to set you up?
it's one of those things where I was going to dig into the problem until I realized if I just open the door and walk in there where I have all the gear, it picks up, and if I walk out, I'm good. And, how often do you actually power off?
Yeah, no, you don't.
Right. So
if you're paying attention to your battery, yeah, you don't ever.
all these tablets are plugged in, and anything that's not a tablet's hardwired anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So first thing you disable. Yeah, 5G in this house, dog poop, man. It won't get out of a room. That's why I got repeaters everywhere.
5G. Well, this place is tiny. It's fine. The Shield tablets are the only. Oh, the Shield tablets and the Huawei P8 Lite are the only ones that can do 5G. But yeah, it's fine. Even on the other side of the bedroom.
I wish they could do 5G better because my EMP emitting microwave when I make my tea every morning. Ladies and gentlemen, I genuinely when I come out of stasis, get up, I cut on some news on a tablet, unplug the tablet, let it start, hit pause while I'm walking to the kitchen so it gets the YouTube buffer built up so it can survive the tea getting nuked.
5 gigahertz, Strider. 5 gigahertz.
What? 5G? 7G? What is he talking about?
He's trying to be funny.
Oh,
you can tell by the all caps lol.
Okay, I got it. Aw, that's so cute.
He tried.
He did. It's effort. That's what we appreciate on this network is effort.
Yep.
NPR's never asked me to host.
Oh, that's one of the things I learned about my phone. It has NFC. Don't care. We'll never use
Nexus
it in my life.
10 has NFC, which I've never used, but
yeah. I saw it the other day because I restarted it because I rooted it.
Mm-hmm.
I restarted it and it came on. It was off. It had been off this whole time. I didn't even know it had NFC. But I saw the little NFC logo in the status bar. It's like, what the? Oh, all right.
I'm full of it. I have used NFC on the Nexus 10 to pay for something.
Do you remember what you paid for?
My brain was like, wait a minute. Yeah, you last resorted that because my wallet was like, we were We were some big ass parking lot. Where was that? It was some. It wasn't a convention. It had to have been a concert or something. Where it was just not worth walking, and it was something stupid like a little ring. I was like, wait a minute, Google Wallet. Will this work? Tap. Boom, done.
Okay.
That was my reaction. I was like, can I take it now? He was like, I went through. I didn't know I could do that. I was like, man, okay.
All right. Okay, if that's the case, I might actually get a card going in Google Wallet just for the off chance that I may ever need it.
Well, Popey, I agree with you on that. I've seen a lot of people do that at establishments, and I've seen, because I've been in line behind them, and the cashier's like, it doesn't work. And I was like, yeah, we'll watch. But then again, I've also seen the, told you it wouldn't work. Now, can I redo the transaction and you do it right this time? The reason I pay attention, because I'm stuck waiting behind this person.
Yep. Oh, they're talking themes now.
Themes?
Or the pop theme.
No.
Pop OS by System 76.
I don't say evolved, maybe devolved to the point where I don't care what the desktop looks like, long as it works.
I am picky about the way the desktop looks for one simple reason. I like dark window borders. Everything else can be, the regular default colors, but the borders have to be dark. Which is the reason I use Arc Darker for everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's got the white backgrounds for everything that you need to look at in a window, and everything else, it's just window dressing, literally. So it can be darker.
Let's see if this works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come on, Gimp. You can do it. All right. Pedro can kind of see what I'm up to.
Watch System 76 release GNOME 3.1. Strider had Venn's computer, probably throw the whole machine in the trash just because it's
I know, it would be too reliable for him. It would upset him. You're talking about a box. I put together a box. This box stays under 100% load almost any time it's on, son, and it's been doing it for over 5 years. It's still here, isn't it? But it's not that pretty.
The desktop doesn't look pretty.
There, that's roughly, that's one of the 3 monitors that are open right now. And a lot of things are closed because we're doing the after show, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's basically what we're working with. That's, 3840, 2160, and it's tight. Especially because the open space down there is where Audacity likes to hang out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easy to do with the inputs when it's just me and you, but when Saturday we have a third person, got J-Baby, so then I got to find room to put that third X composite window somewhere.
Yeah.
Which then things get tricky. And so that's why I have a control pad to do the switching.
Yeah, no.
Let's see,
No. Okay. My webcam blinked for a second there, but okay. Still holding, I think.
It went to 1.1 megabits up.
I saw it blink, but yeah, it's back down to the 500 kilobits per second up that it seems that Jitsi wants to do.
That's going to be an exciting adventure. I'm going to be building our own Rainbow Bridge, our own Jitsi box locally for here, and not looking forward to that, if I'm going to be perfectly honest. I mean, I know I'm going to have a blast doing it, but not looking forward to it. it'll keep me occupied, which is always good.
Yeah. I mean, get a VPN going, get everyone just basically connected to that VPN while we're doing the show, so minimal outside crap.
It's going to be on its own network. I mean,
Yeah.
it'll have it. I try to do things right, ladies and gentlemen, but it'll eventually end up DMZ. All right, let's just be honest.
Oh, hey, Free Jack says Jitsi is fun. You should know.
Yeah, Free Jack knows all about Jitsi. He really does. I'm not being facetious.
Anyone knows how to set up a Jitsi server? That's Free Jack.
And that's going to be fun. But I think we'll handily be able to do it. Plus, it'll let us have higher quality video, except Pedro. Pedro's not going to get higher quality.
Oh, no, I assuming that BT enables fiber to the cabinet for the rest of this road, instead of just halfway down and then stops, they enable fiber to the cabinet all the way, then maybe I will get better internet, but not right now.
6 months.
Yeah, then I will be moving because, well, I don't like living in the butt end of nowhere.
You could move to Cork. Yeah, look it up. It's a great place. Definitely want to go there.
See, Cork. The city of Cork is a university city in southwest Ireland.
It's actually not a bad place.
Okay. The city's cognomen of the rebel city originates in its support of the Yorkist cause during the English 15th century Wars of the Roses. Corkonians often refer to the city as the real capital, in reference to its role as the center of anti-treaty forces during the Irish Civil War. The city of Cork.
Yeah. All right. I think that is going to round us out with that beautiful history lesson.
Yep.
Got a time in. We've done it. Now I got to make a podcast. Have you made dinner yet?
No. Nori had a bowl of noodles because she said, I'm hungry and I'm not going to wait till you're done, so I'm going to eat noodles. Okay.
You should get her some blueberry.
Blueberry?
Yeah, blueberry, man.
I have blueberry cereal. They have like blueberry filling inside the cereal.
Oh, please. Your life, man. You're just like living a lie. I mean, blueberry. That's the business. I have never eaten cereal in my life, folks. I'm just giving them shit. See, look, we have the Christmas costume pick out already.
Okay. No, those are like brand cereal that have filling. Blueberry filling.
I
don't know. It was at Tesco. I saw it on. It's like, oh, wait, blueberry? Okay. Let's try it.
Just get it at Poundland. It's like blueberry-ish.
See, I wouldn't mind buying food at Poundland if the actual food that they sell wasn't in like stupid small quantities. Because you can buy a steak for £1.
Dude.
What the hell do I do with a steak?
Check this out. If you get a steak from Poundland, I'm not saying buy it. No one do this. Next time you're at Poundland, hold it up to the light. You can see through them. You can. I'm like, how did they give me such value? It's like, oh, right, it's transparent.
Oh no, 1 pound for a single steak, it's a load of shit.
It's like shaved. It's like it's steak-shaped meat.
If I go to Tesco, I can get a box of 6 steaks already covered in, what did I call it?
Mushy
Maple
peas.
barbecue. No, it's maple barbecue sauce.
Get this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to do a game stream, and Pedro and Nori are just complaining about peas for like the first 10 minutes.
That is true, yes. Because I'm kind of allergic to peas. Nori doesn't like peas. And basically since we've been living the broke life, every single brand of noodles that we buy comes with a little packet of peas. Dried up peas. They don't taste like anything. I'm pretty sure whatever the active ingredient in a pea that makes me allergic to them isn't there on those. So I usually don't mind them. But Nori will just hate peas.
Mushy peas are delicious. I don't know. I mean, I don't eat them a lot because they're really sweet, but there's nothing a good hot sauce doesn't fix.
I'm not a big fan of peas either, but yeah, the reason I usually don't eat them is because allergy. It's the let's see. It's peas and strawberries. If I eat a lot of strawberries, I will get a teeny tiny rash. Nothing major, but yeah.
Be it peas, lentils, beans, peanuts, soy.
Mm-hmm.
Can you be allergic to peas? Like we...
Cross-reactivity to pollen. That's the thing. Pollen doesn't really trigger any allergies.
Oh,
in
look,
me.
symptoms, or I like to say, what Pedro could do on a live stream if we give him enough peas. Wheeze. Anaphylactic breathing collapse. Yeah, I like the collapse part. Some people make it a rash. Swelling in the lips, cough. Yeah, that's not entertaining enough to...
Okay, so you just go into anaphylactic shock and you risk suffocating to death. Fair enough.
All right. Hey, for reals this time. We got to get out of here. It's been fun hanging out with... Come check us out. Thursday, Pedro will not Pedro, Jordan.
If he can wrangle Sandy, they'll be back for some crimson.
They'll be up to something, man. I don't know until the last minute, but that's how Jordan rolls. That's his prerogative. And Pedro and I will be back Saturday, 9:30.
Indeed.
And now things are kind of settling down. Pedro's gotten moved. I think maybe week after next, we'll be able to do an early Saturday show.
Yeah. We will, we'll let you know for sure this Saturday whether or not we'll be doing the earlier show.
Exactly. We'll let you know this
So
Saturday.
you have no
We'll
excuse.
let you know Wednesday. It'll be on all of our social medias. So
Yeah.
you can turn up 5 p.m. Eastern on a Saturday and wait, no, you can turn up at 9:30 and go, where's the show? Why didn't anyone tell me?
You mean like everyone does every single time we did the early shows up to now?
People pitch a fit, man. Did you navigate the last week blindfolded? It's amazing. All right, die to fire, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Bye.